Good morning. It is November 1st, 2025. It is Saturday. It is cold. It's still in the 30s, I would imagine. It's around 10:45 in the morning. I'm on my way to the library to do some homework. Yesterday, I camped down the road at the trailhead. Going south, I was in some heavy brush and some pines. I felt very visible. I don't think anybody really saw me. If they did, whatever. Across the street from me right now is the town of Onaway Highway Department. I'm on some sort of vacant lot. As you can see, all the bedding around me, that was most likely deer, coyote, and they are prevalent in this area. They're loud and obnoxious. I mean the coyotes. One thing about this property, here's a foundation. So that's why my tent was set here, door facing that way, so I wouldn't take a trip in the middle of the night. Anyway, gotta push off. I was gonna say I'm on my way to the library, but I think I already said that. I feel really dumb at the moment. I didn't realize I ran down my debit card to nothing. While at Dollar General, the cashier, Jessica, paid the rest of my bill. There was nothing I could do. I couldn't log into my laptop and transfer funds. I don't have any banking applications on my phone on purpose. Again, I deal with cybersecurity. And if you knew what I knew, you'd never have anything on your phone. But yeah. My stupidity led to another trail angel. Oh my God. And she wouldn't even let me mail her, the money, that she covered. Talk about, wow. People on this trip are amazing. I feel stupid for that to have happened. I didn't get a notification via email saying my account was low. So I hadn't known about it. Yeah, kind of feel dumb right at the moment. But I'm also impressed how people are just so kind-hearted and generous. Wow. And that's where I stayed last night. Right up in there. The heavy brush really helped with the wind, because the wind just makes it so much colder. I mean, it was still cold last night, don't get me wrong. But it was nice to have that additional protection from the wind. And right up ahead, I will enter the trail again. These are the barriers where I stopped the other night, and I camped right back there. I just looked, I couldn't find my sunglasses, so it was a good thing that I picked up a new pair. I just wish I had the cash to pay for them. Again, I feel stupid about that. But anyway, there's the M68, and I'm back on the Northeastern State Trail, and I will take this to Alpena and go to Milford from there. The scenery's not all that much coming out of Onaway. It's still beautiful. Love to see this in the summer. It is cold, but at least I don't have a headwind. So that makes me happy. Okay, there's what I want to see. I'm just a couple hundred feet from the last shot. And look at that canopy. Oh, come on. You knew I was going to say that. The reason why I keep mentioning it is this summer I did the Cowboy Trail, and I needed a lot of sunscreen. And for a good distance of the George Mickelson Trail, I needed a lot of sunscreen. And, of course, I did the Trans-American Bicycle Trail. I did Ragbri. And again, a ton of sunscreen. So, when I see this, yeah, I like it. I'm getting a kick out of seeing all these tree stands, hunting blinds. They're all over on either side of the trail, and that's fine. I'm not against hunting. But since they resurfaced this trail recently, all I'm seeing is deer tracks. A lot of deer tracks. And my first tire, a bicycle tire, in front of me. And of course, car tires. I don't know if they were inspecting the trail, getting back to a certain location. But yeah, I thought it's funny that there are all these animal tracks in the road, mostly deer. Some coyote. I don't know what that one was. I just don't want to see it. Pretty big. Anyway, I just went through the town of Millersburg. Very nice pavilion, restroom area. Nice shelter in case it's rain, snow, sleet, hail. You get it. Yeah, it seemed nice. As I got about a quarter mile away, found a stray dog. Skittish, wouldn't come near me. I had nothing really to give it, so it could eat. It looked fed, didn't look like it was starving, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, nice little town. And a lot of birch through here. I didn't turn the camera on, but back behind me was a lot of birch trees. So I am about 8 miles from Hawk and about 36 miles from Alpena. I'm in the town of Hawks. I just passed a vault toilet, latrine, and a little trailhead with a pavilion, and it looked like it had electric. I'm tempted to turn around and stay the night so I can finish my homework, but I'm going to push on. Town of Hawks is very small, nice, I like it. Not much else going on. It looks like the sky is clearing up a bit. I'll take that as a welcome change. It's a little too cold for rain, and I really don't want to ride on this one. It's saturated. I mean, the surface is damp, so I take it did rain down this way, but it's not bad to ride on as it is. Right now it's a quarter after 4 p.m. and I'm going to try to get to Alpena tonight. I got about less than 25 miles to go, and see what happens when I get there. I think it's a little ironic. Was it 2-3 deer up there, and there's the hunting blind. Yeah, they're just standing over there like, we're good. I am in the town of Metz. That's M-E-T-Z. Looks kind of small, but I thought the same thing of Onaway. The Onaway turned out to be much bigger. Yeah, I'm going to say this is a small town. Ooh, park right here at the trailhead. How nice. Nice trailhead. Let's go take a look. Maybe there's water still active. Yeah, I kind of doubt there's going to be water. Oh, there's a campground right there. A nature trail right over there. How cool. I came here last night around 4:45, set up. I was going to do my homework because they have an amazing pavilion a couple hundred feet away. This is in the town of Metz, Michigan, on the northeastern state trail. The trail is about 85 miles long, and I've said that before. And you just don't expect to see something this nice in the middle of nowhere. And I don't mean to put Metz down. I mean, it's a quaint little town. It used to be much bigger. There's a lot of history here. But wow, was I surprised. Not only was the pavilion amazing, but they have a campground here. You know, it's in a ring here. It's for tenting only. You could stay up here for 7 days for free. You can't beat that. There are lights all the way around. They do work. There's signage about, you know, the different types of trees and plants. Every site has a picnic table and fire pit. They even cut up firewood for you. And if you run out, there's about a cord more firewood in the center. How cool is that? Anyway, as I was preparing to set my tent up underneath the pavilion last night, the neighbor across the street, it's a bar that's been just recently purchased and they're renovating it. I asked them, would you have any problem if I set up my tent underneath the pavilion? And they're like, oh, we don't know, but did you know there's a bunkhouse on the property? I was like, what? They're like, yeah, there's a bunkhouse with 5 beds in it. I was like, you gotta be kidding. So I came back here and I walked over, and the building I had ignored earlier as I had done my walkthrough turned out to be a bunkhouse. Here, let me show you. Again, this is an unassuming building. I was going to totally disregard it, but let's take a look inside. Wow. 5 bunks or 5 beds, hooks, shelving, and it's not drafty. It's nice. I stayed in here last night. It was about 23 degrees outside. It was 23 degrees in here too. But I didn't have to deal with the wind. I was much warmer. Again, the town of Metz went above and beyond and created an amazing trailhead. They even have a solar-powered light. Wow, this is above and beyond. Oh, and they even have an extra bed, so if you have a 6th person, you have a portable bed. Inside the pavilion, you have the entire history of the town, specifically stories about the fire in 1908. At the time, the town was much larger, and yeah, some really cool history to learn about. And what first took me, the first thing that got the wow factor, seeing this pavilion. This is a very tiny town, and you don't expect to see something this nice. Then I saw that, and I was like, wow, they went all out. And, you know, they had these extra bike stands, which I thought were cool. There's a vault toilet over there. Outside the pavilion, there is a water fountain. It is cold out, you know, it's freezing, so they've already drained it and bagged it for the winter. On the opposite side of the town building is a vault toilet. It has a clear roof, so you have an amazing amount of light coming into the building. And not only that, it's clean. I mean, everything is clean. You will be surprised. Oh, and if you see cameras on the building, they do work. Well, with that, time for me to move on.